Hello, darlings. This is quite a very big, sad time to have watched our soul be burnt down. And for those of you who haven't completely merged the mirror, that mirror is going to merge now. And this is what the whole pop-off 5G BFG, big 5G is all about. That's what the giant is. That's what Jacob's ladder and Jack and the Beanstalk are all about. It's about climbing our 7 chakras and merging the 4 parts of our brain. Notre Dame was in the 4th arrondissement. It was on an land. If you look from above, it's an eye. It's on Ile de la Cité in the 4th arrondissement. That's the 4th corner closed. 9/11 was exactly 18 years ago. 2001 Odyssey, how? They've just discovered the black hole, which is an eye. Notre Dame is in the image of Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene is magnetic, feminine. We are leaving 2,200 years of Pisces. And Pisces is white Europe, feminine, water. And we leave opposite Virgo, black, earth, Africa. Virgo represents Mary Magdalene. When Notre Dame was burnt down, the moon was on Regulus. Oh, sorry, warplanes going over my head. From Montmarsan. Montmarsan is MM. It sits between me, the 32nd department, where the Labyrinth is, where the heart chakra of Earth in Taurus, Glastonbury, Taurus field, Taurus, the bull, goes to our church where the Labyrinth is. There's a ley line with a 32nd, and MM, where those warplanes are coming from, is Mont de Marsan, which is the 40th department. Now, Notre Dame was built, it had a distance of 40 meters, 40 days in the desert that Jesus spent. Mary Magdalene, the moon, was on Regulus, which is the feet of Jesus Christ, where she wiped the blood off his feet. Macron is playing the role of Jesus, and Mary Magdalene is playing the role of earth, feminine, magnetic. That this is the end of the female. 9/11 was the last time that the snake, the head of the snake and the tail of the snake, are the hypothetical points on which the sun and the moon cross paths in their different separate journeys. There is a moment that they touch and cross. And those 2 points on the 2 circles are known as the head and the tail of the snake. And that's what gives us eclipses. And this whole Earth show is run as above, so below. But you guys aren't navigators. The 10 lost tribes are navigators. They know how to read as above, so below. I am living in my own personal life as you are, but I've got to that merging of the mirror where I can see how my life fits into the bigger picture of our collective conscious life. Notre Dame represents, we've had matriarchal ages, we've just had patriarchal ages, and this is either we merge the mirror and we take control of our ships as captains, we will be led to dystopia. The hole and the burning down is fire and ice. R.R. Martin, free Martins are bulls. When one of the twins takes on the male's hormones and is born as a girl with XY chromosomes. Huxley said in A Brave New World that 70% of women would be free Martins. So R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones, Ice and Fire, is white ice, the end of the age of Pisces, turning Lot to stone. Charlotte's wife was turned to stone, petrified, when she saw that, as I stand now, seeing that we're being led into Sodom and Gomorrah. It represents the end of Pisces. The dam is the water petrified to stone. It stops the flow of the female. Because only females can see that men have been playing Peter Pan, hiding behind the front of an image of their women, because women have been turned into electrons, when women are negative, not positive. We are the magnetic black hole earth pulse. And it is better that we live alone, because we're not going to let boys stand behind us anymore and pretend. We're merging, and pop-off means that those who can't stand the frequency will be reduced to apes. In Sinbad the Sailor, in the 5th story, because there are 7, we are at the 5th wave. That's why Israel had the 5th term. That's why we're coming to the 5G pop-off event, 33 crucifixion. We've just had 4 33 CC events worldwide. We've just had 4 female white tits in London, because the world, you know, the Gaulois are the French, and they've been laughing at the whole 007, you know, it's not Jane that makes Bond, it's James. In French, Bond means to have a hard-on. So we've just had the 4 tits in England. We've had the 4 worldwide events. We've had, started with CocO Chanel, CocO, that died. CC is 33. Then we had Christchurch. CC represents the north and the south, the head and the tail of the snake. And then we had an earthquake in Bordeaux. Bordeaux is 33. It's next to me, 32. And after, in between, we have 40. And in exactly 6 months for the autumn equinox of the Virgin, we're on the spring of Jesus. That's why we have Easter. And for the autumn equinox, we have G7, Microsoft 7, the 7 tails of Sinbad, the sailor, the 7 seas. We travel the world in the 7 seas, the 7 chakras. G7 is going to be in Biarritz, which is 64, where Our Lady, Mary Magdalene, Notre Dame, stands on the rocks, as Lot's wife does in Jerusalem, turned to stone. And she looks out onto the Atlantic Ocean, because we go from white to red, from Pisces to Aquarius, from Europe to America. NASA is North America, South America. Las Vegas is the vein that we need to rise to find our voice, our Mercury, the twin DNA strands. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. Virgo is Mary Magdalene. Gemini is Peter Pan. And he rules our ability to use our voice, to open our third eye, to become the kings and the queens of ourselves, to hold our crown, to turn lead to gold. I'm very upset about Notre Dame, and I can't believe that I went through my biggest personal awakening as the towers of 9/11 came down, and I'm personally living another awakening as Notre Dame is burnt down. And I'm saddened that although I have all the possibility now to stand strong and not collapse like Notre Dame, as I did in my first shock in 9/11, but this time I have the whole fortune within me, because I worked out the dots of my purpose, my unique path, as we each have our own unique path. And there is gold in having gratitude when the whole video game means nothing compared to a pot of inner gold. Nothing. So although I bear my personal cross, and I'm afraid that many more people will have to find their role as 33 to be crucified. My son will be 33 on this very Easter celebration weekend. The swastika, it's the spin, it's the 4 directions, it's the fortune that goes left, right, how, wow, I to Popeye. So, having a look at the sky, this is right now. Let's go to right now, 17. So, to the day of Notre Dame, we've got Jupiter on the thigh of the hero. Now, I always can never say his name, can I? And I've only been waiting. Let's go straight to this article. So I have 3 weeks from the last video, which was actually all about this snake. But you really have to go back, as I always say, and look at my articles to join these dots, because it's just happening so fast. Okay, don't block on me. Here we go. So I will take you through this, but before I get to this, it's important to know Uranus's mirror. So Uranus's mirror is the original Hydra snake that is just below Regulus. Now, the Freemason lodges always have west, south, and east. Aldebaran, Regulus, and Antares. Aldebaran is Taurus, Regulus is Leo, and Antares is Scorpio. So it's west, south, east. They never give you the North Lodge, North Star, the true third eye, Fomalhaut, the true hero. But they did give us a 13th sign. And that 13th sign, because this is the word I can never say, officulus, efficulus. 'Efficulus. 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 ' Here we go. Yeah, it's the cult of Dionysus. In the Orphicuses, that's his name, Orphiceus. Orphic tradition. So they gave us this 13th sign where Jupiter is right now. There's the bull. There's the cross. Okay, they want to take over the fixed cross. This is where Jesus is crucified. There's a mutable, a fixed, and a cardinal cross. The bull, as I've just said to you, west. The lion, the feet south of Jesus. And Antares, Scorpio, and Aquarius on top is the fixed cross. But they don't give you the North Star. But this snake is actually taken from the Hydra constellation, and it's been given to us as the 13th sign. But Orphiceus holds apart the serpent which with its mighty spirals and twisted body encircles his own, so that he may untie its knots and back that winds in loops and winds in loops. But bending its supple neck, the serpent looks back and returns, and the other's hands slide over the loosened coils. The struggle will last forever, since they wage it on level terms with equal powers. This is the communism. This is the singularity. This is the choice that we make to be either the wheat or the tarn. We're being separated. Or you remain in this fake LGBT Sodom and Gomorrah, killing the energy of the female, magnetic, negative, so we can live in happy chappy, mignon, yellow brick road, what are they called? The munchkin numpkins in the Wizard of Oz, Oompa Loompa, Never Everland, Peter Pan Never Everland, where you won't be allowed to die, you'll be stuck in the flesh. That's what 9/11 was, our DNA strands. The mirror is merging now. This sign doesn't exist. It's the 13th key door out, or we're the donkey. You know, Notre Dame is the famous French film called Peau d'âne. That means skin of a donkey, where the woman is demonized. They have the rainbow in it. They've got it all in it. It's a Wizard of Oz. So we come back. Jupiter, expansion, flesh, is doing whatever he can now, this year and next year, when he's in Sagittarius, his home, before the big Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in Capricorn, the true Earth, the true high cardinal black hole in 2020. They want to use her power, and the only way they can do it is as long as you guys keep following the fox, Luke Skywalker, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. So Jupiter is for 1 year in Scorpio, and half of the sign of Scorpio is taken up by the famous hero Orphiceus. Sorry, I just can't pronounce it. And this snake is the snake of wisdom that he goes and fights for Never Everland, forever and ever. That's where we're being taken. So we've got this snake here, but the Hydra snake, okay, the Hydra snake, where is Leo? Leo's opposite. Oh, here we go. There's Hydra snake. And the moon on Monday was on Regulus, the feet of Jesus. Now Mary Magdalene wipes the feet of Jesus. This is the Virgin Mary. She went with the floods. Cancer rules the moon. This is sun and moon, Solomon. So the moon was on the sun, Solomon's seal, the seal of Solomon that we're living. It's not for nothing that in the news today they say that the moon is flooding water, whereas Notre Dame lies with a big black hole dried up. Because the seal of Solomon prefers, you know, this is forever and ever in the black hole of the arsehole. They don't give you the true third eye, which is opposite Regulus. On astrology charts, they give you the west, the south, and the east door, but they don't give you the north door, Fomalhaut. The true constellation that we should be on now is this. We should be on Giza, the pyramids of Giza, opposite the Sphinx, but they've got us stuck on a 33-degree-inch record. Look at this weekend coming up. So we just go along here, 16, 17, 18, 19, right, on the 19th, well, from the 15th, it's already begun. Mars has been on the bullseye, and Mars rules Aries. And this is Isis, and this is Ra, and they want to be the light of El. They want to take her magnetic black hole as theirs. So they've used the female power of the bull. Taurus is not masculine. Venus rules Taurus, and Taurus is feminine. Venus is feminine in Taurus. So Mars, that rules Ra, for this Easter weekend will be on the bull's eye. That's why in my little village, they're going to kill 8 bulls. 8 is 33 back to front. It's the Ouroboros snake that Hydra I've just shown you is pretending to be. And there's another snake here with the tick-tock clock. This is the black hole. This is the abyss. For those that never merge the mirror, that never follow the mermaid into the underworld. They make her come up and grow legs, be free martins. This is bull worship. Free martins, in Huxley's world, they say 70% of women will be free martins. Well, we're already there. Women have been made into L, electron, positive. We're only 15% of Rh negative blood left on Earth. You can all play together in positive land, because us Rh negatives are going to pop off, and we are the missing. We will be the missing, because we saw through the game. So Mars is here for this Easter weekend. And on the 23rd, the Sun is exactly on the 33 degree of Ra. Here we go. Let's get that Sun. This star here is 33 degrees. And the Sun is just 32, 33. That's why the Labyrinth is here in the 32 where I live. The Labyrinth is that electromagnetic 4th corner. Notre Dame was in the 4th Arrondissement before crucifixion 33. And only those of us with the true depth and strength to see what's really happening can escape this reality show. So Jupiter at this moment is on the hero's thigh of this fake 13th sign. This is the key, this is the door out. Many of us should be living this Notre Dame. This will be used as a division, as Moses separating the sea. That's what Julian arse angle angel was playing with his Momo beard. And Jupiter is retrograde. This is the kiss of Judas. He's retrograde, he's going backwards in Scorpio for 4 months. And, you know, this is very all about that deep, deep relationship and everything that's being hidden from us. Because these are the Mexicans. These are the Aztec. This is the Aztec Empire.
The commanders of the Phoenician fleets had to have many skills. They not only needed expert knowledge of the sea and foreign lands, but they had to know the art of trading as well. What to buy, what to sell. One precious cargo of theirs was the mythical cedar of Lebanon, an excellent timber for building sturdy cargo vessels and warships.
The third eye. That's why the Vatican has a pine cone. It's the cedar. It's the long-lost cedar. You know, they used olive oil. That's why Popeye's wife is called Olive Oil. This is the eye, the wisdom, the third eye, the true philosopher's stone. The fake one is Aldebaran, the bull. That's why they use Venus, because Venus rules Taurus and Venus rules Libra, the scales. The snake is hidden on the scales, the wisdom. That's why Moses says, look to the pole, the snake on the pole. Venus rules Libra and Taurus. But the true third eye is when we pop out of this wheel. And there are people telling us this story that as if we should stay in this wheel. There's no place left for us.
The timber could be bought in Baalbek, situated in the mountains that formed a backdrop to the Phoenician cities in Lebanon. In the Hellenistic period, the city of Baalbek was known as Heliopolis, City of the Sun. By studying the meaning of these swastikas and other evidence, such as the different colors of columns at this site, archaeologists discovered that the enormous temple that dominated the city was dedicated to the sun god, after which the city was named. In 60 AD, the cella of the sun god was the most important construction in the entire sacred area, with 54 columns over 60 feet high, more than 6 feet in diameter. Having loaded the trunks of cedar wood onto carts, the traders would return to the coast where their ships awaited them. In the Bible, Ezekiel mentions that the Phoenician city of Byblus, which also lies in Lebanon, was the biggest naval shipyard in ancient times. Crossing the seas was not an easy matter, even with a good ship. This was one of the reasons why help from the gods was sought throughout the Mediterranean. In Byblus and other Phoenician cities, the remains of numerous Phoenician cargo ships have been found. The typical ship was 65 feet long and over 16 feet wide, large enough to carry a great deal of the precious cedar, as well as luxurious fabrics dyed with a reddish-purple pigment known as murex. The Phoenicians took their name from these fabrics. Phoenix, Phoenician, comes from the Greek word phoin, or red. Statues like this ephebe in bronze, or the famous youth of Mothia, were found during excavations in the ancient Phoenician colony of Mothia in Sicily.
Yes, it's a greasy Greek tragedy, and it's not for nothing that I am, that's will for me is Leo, I will. And this is how, with the moon on Regulus, they could take over the energy of the bull as I will, and Aries is I am. Will I am called his last child Louis, because Louis is the sun god. And the sun god is what they want. The sun, IHS, just as on Notre Dame, the eye in the center, the rose stained glass window, is an arse. Because these guys are just into arses. They don't want the magnetic pull. They want to live forever and ever in the flesh. You see, this is what's happening. This is the age of the pirates. This is the abyss. We're ending the age of Pisces. And we pop our third eye. And this will happen for 2020. We're on the wrong equinox, as I said. We're 33 degrees off. They've kept, this is the 33 degree when we wake up, and it's happening this Easter. You know, this Notre Dame is going to be the division of those who can see through and those who can't. The mirror is merging. This is why they call this snake Uranus's mirror. The snake, Uranus's mirror. And this is where we just had the moon on the 15th for Notre Dame coming down. The moon was right on Regulus. You know, you have to catch up in my articles, but we've also just had Medusa. We've had the star Algol. Where is Algol? Here we go. Mars was right on top of Medusa. And we're having so many events at the moment. We've just had the 4 events. We've had, I think I've just given them to you, CocO Chanel, CC33. Yeah, I did give you the 4. And then the last one, the rapper, 33 years old, shot in Hyde Park because it's the Hydra. Hyde Park, LA. It's the Hydra snake. That's why Hyde Park is on the snake. It's on the what's it called in the middle of Hyde Park, where they have the famous gallery. I just had to sit and remember the serpentine, of course, the serpentine, the snake. So we've had the 4-3-3-3 events, and boom, Notre Dame comes down. As I've said in all my past videos, that snake for 9/11, the head was as it is now in Gemini, and the tail was in Sagittarius as it is now. Saturn was also in Gemini 18 years ago, but now it's sitting in Sagittarius with Pluto. Pluto is subtle, deep, subconscious change. Sagittarius represents everything that Jupiter stands for: philosophy, the philosopher's stone, culture, other lands, nomads, gypsies, expansion. And Pluto's just spent 20 years there, and it's ending 20 years where it will join, and that's what the good, the bad, and the ugly is. It will join Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, who's hidden here somewhere. We can't see him, but I'll show you him. Yeah, Pluto. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring next to me. Happy snoring. So, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, the big conjunction is coming up on the correct constellations. Mainstream astrology has us thinking that it will be in Aquarius, but it doesn't really matter because Saturn rules the twin peaks. And this is when we come to the North Lodge. That's why certain people will have you walking to the North Pole. It's not about a physical walk, it's an inner journey. This is the eye. This is the true eye that's been hidden to us. That's why that they're exposing today the black hole, because this is what they're talking about. They know that many people are going to pop off. Popov was the Russian that invented the arc, the radio signal arc. That means when our 32, two sides of the brain become 4, when I'm 64, Microsoft 7, in 64 Biarritz, 64 is the 4 corners. Now we can either be merged into the beehive and carry on like little positive Jack on the beanstalks, or you can make this journey within you. So whilst Pluto and Saturn are here, and especially for this end of this 20 years that Pluto's been here, Saturn's just been here since last year. Funnily again, I was on the Isle of Wight for a funeral on the day that Saturn went on to the winter equinox, where it will be for the conjunction with Saturn. I was there with my friend, who is the great-great-granddaughter of Juliet Cameron, who was the woman who took my great-great-grandmother Mary. She did the famous photographs of the triple Marys, the three Marys, the triple goddess, which I've explained in my last videos. And we were there for a third girl, three Marys, funeral on the day that Saturn in the Isle of Wight, and there's just been a little ritual in the Isle of Wight. And the funeral was at St. Helen's Church, which is the same as Helen of Troy. And Helen was the actress who played the part of Esmeralda in The Bells of Notre Dame musical. You know, this is the judgment of Paris, the Trojans, Helen of Troy. Julian Assange was on the 11th of the 4th. Was on the 11th, and 11th of the 4th is the four corners of the L electron, L even, fate merging that they're merging us into. And in Gematria, 114 is Trojan War. And so is the name Julian Assange, comes to 114. It's all a Greek tragedy play. The Phoenicians and the Babylonians are merging as one. That's what the Serbian two dragons is about, holding the egg. They're holding the pineal gland of our true third eye. Those that don't pop will be held in the flesh. And you'll never leave this, you know, it will be like in the Truman Show. You won't be able to leave. Because we're only 15% of negative Earth pulse humans left on Earth. We're the only ones that can see through this, because we are the remainders of the matriarchal age when nymphs roamed the earth, and the light of God, the men of God, they came and raped us. They raped us. The Mary Magdalenes, the women of earth. And they made Adam a clay man who was half heaven and half earth. We could all live here together, but the Peter Pan boys are wiping out the last of this negative bloodline. This is the Cinderella complex. This is Carrie. This is the Exorcist. We are the Rosemary's babies. So, you know, Jupiter's going backwards. I take you to my article. So I can just take you through. So yeah, also tribe of Dan. Dam blocks the water. This is the end of our water, but it just so happens in the news today, the moon is flowing water. Solomon has taken the flowing water of the true female and made a dam. Tribu of Dan. Dan is the tribe of judgment. We're at the judgment of Paris. The scales of Libra, Alpha, Omega, Aries, Libra. This Easter, Mars that rules Aries is going to be sitting on the eye of the bull. What perfect ritual. Back to the future. They can read the future because they know where the planets are going to be, and everything is done accordingly. Now this is a beautiful article a beautiful, beautiful article that you have to go and read. Yeah, my friend Terry found. Mary Magdalene is born on July the 22nd. So her feast day. And 22 is catch 22 before 23 double twin strands of DNA. Dan, 22 is our heart. The kiss of Judas at the moment, Jupiter retrograde in Scorpio on the hero's thigh of Orphilicus. This is, you know, this is our heart. So this is the fake egg. This is them popping our eye. This is 5G, Popeye, fifth wave. You see, for the date of, that's Happy snoring really loud, sorry. Happy, for the, he makes me laugh. For the day of the Israeli fifth term, we had a very big ritual going on. Now, who's this? This is the moon. Yeah, the moon was right on the sun pillar. So let's go see that. So it was somewhere around here. It's all in my articles. I can't remember what. Was it really the 11th? Well, the 11th, you see, we were in Castor and Pollux in Gemini. This is the wizard, and this is the sun pillar and the moon pillar. And there was this direct lineup of Mars and the moon pillar and the sun on top of the wizard's wand, the moon. And the moon works with Isis for moon magic. You know, this is why the crescent moon, Isis, is the passage of the waxing to the half to the wane moon, and the Taurus horns represent Isis. So Venus is Isis in Taurus, and Venus is the five-pointed pentagram in Libra. And that's why you have the pentagram with the half moon in it as that symbol. So yeah, whenever, so we've got, that was the Julian Assange day, and I can't remember the exact day of the Israeli fifth term, but this is what we're coming to. This is, you know, it's all happening now. Okay, so this is taking our third eye. So the Marseille Tarot is very much like the 32 cards that were made for Ophilicus. These are the Celine Dion, the Dionysus, you know, it's the tribe of, so where is Ophilicus? Ophilicus. See that they show us DNA. It's all about the tribe of flesh, keeping us in the flesh. Now, look. So here we go. They've given me the astrology one as a 13th sign, in addition to the 12 signs of the tropical zodiac. But this is what we want. This is a snake. The serpents, the Milky Way. It's the Milky Way. So they're giving us this 13th sign, but, you know, some of us are going to go missing, I'm afraid. Whether we're literally rounded up or we do just pop off. So I'm still not the one I want. I want to give you the picture of, I think I need to give you Uranus's mirror. Sorry, my keyboard doesn't work either. Uranus's mirror. This is what I want. Okay. See, this is the twin dogs as well, and Medusa. We've just had Medusa. This is the mirror, the 4-4. The mirror going through. This is still not what I want to show you. I want to show you, it's actually all in my last video, what I want to show you. But we can't get to the, so they've taken this 13th sign, basically, and given us the hero, where Jupiter is. Here's Antares. This is the wicked witch from the east. Okay, the wicked witch, they took the wisdom, they stole the wisdom. This is the ancient artifacts of the eagle carrying the snake in its claws, or the snake in the sky flying, the dragon. Before we became separated, we used to have, this was one, this is Adam and Eve, we were one. This is the hidden wisdom, that we naturally go back to becoming androgynous. We naturally return to that state of heaven that we were in before the nomads gave us the fake light, which is very important for our process of expanding to the wisdom. But once we get the wisdom, we have to merge halfway between contraction and expansion. And this is what's going to happen automatically with the 2020 conjunction. Okay, I've just come back to here. So anyway, I have more on it. So the decoding system to be initiated into the great secrets. This is the hidden wisdom of the snake stolen. Okay, so this is our heart. This is the egg. That's why this is fertility, Easter. This is the 33 degree egg that they keep us on with Isis. Isis Taurus, it's the female energy that has been taken. The magnetic power is used as black magic against us. We are participating in rituals. We watch rituals. This is the beautiful window of Notre Dame, the stained glass window. This is, you've got the 12 signs. It starts with the 4. They tell us that before the fires, 4 days before, they took out 12 statues. 12 and 4 is 16. 16 is 7, the 7 chakras. The Notre Dame is with a central chakra system. It represents the temple of the human body, for goodness sake. This is such a big time that we're living. Mystical marriage, Rose of Sharon, beloved beloveds, the cornerstone, the architect rejected. Magdalene, magnetic, that's triple goddesses. The watchtower of witnessing, the alchemical process of awakening. Bless us, bless us, bless us. You know, there's a moment that you stop sitting in the cave watching projections, and you see that the projection is a reflection of us, and as above, so below. If you look carefully, you will be living and coming up to a 33 crucifixion in your own personal life. Because we're all living this together. This is the fate bullseye Aldebaran, right with all the galactic Pleiades and all their stories. There's the moon on the 15th. So yeah, Uranus's mirror is a set of 32 astronomical star charts. 32 state of grace before 33 crucifixion. State of grace is when you ignite your own 4 parts of the brain into your own labyrinth. You spin left and right like a coin that knows both sides of the coin. You can then spin a coin on a table and it won't fall. Stays in balance. You can spin out of this web, or we're spun. So they were engraved by Sidney Hall and it's since been identified by Reverend Richard Rose Bloxham. Well, give me a break. We've got R through the mirror. RR is the Romanian 10 tribes merged. RR. Well, there we've got. And he was an assistant master at rugby school. Well, this is why we just had the Six Nations. The dragon. Green, white, and red. It's when the Phoenicians and the Babylonians merge as one. White Europe, red America, green the Pan Man, L, Saturn. We're merging back. It's been hidden, it can't be hidden. This is the chart for Notre Dame. So here you see in the 5th house, so the 5th house is originally the house of Leo, Babylon, opposite the 11th house, which is normally Aquarius. Here they're in Gemini, not far off Sirius. This is the Magician, and Sagittarius. So this is where they were. This is the head of the snake, tail of the snake. In between this alchemical process of lead to gold is whenever you get a conjunction of Pluto and Saturn, both in Sagittarius. That means burning down the philosophers, the religion. So they know that this will happen naturally. Religion will fall down naturally. But what's to be put in its place has all been set up and prepared, because they knew that our consciousness would be burning down the old at this time. So there's the tail of the snake. 5th doors of Leo, Babylon, into the end of the age of Pisces, into Aquarius, and we've been taken into the abyss. There was a conjunction for the sun god in Ra, Aries, with Uranus, perfect, as the sun god is Uranus. That's what IHS is this Horus SeTh, gain, match, and set. This is it. So Jupiter, where's Jupiter? Jupiter is retrograde in Scorpio. Regulus, Antares, and Aldebaran. They do not give us Formerholt. Look, there's this big trine as well, going from the moon on Regulus, Babylon. So you see, Leo is normally here in the 5th house. So you've got this lead to gold happening into Aquarius with the head and the tail of the snake, whilst the moon's sitting on the feet of Jesus, where Mary Magdalene wiped his feet. This is Mary Magdalene represents the energy of the pre-sexual high priestess. Perfectly ripe pre-sexual female. This is the death of the black hole. So there you see Regulus is right above Hydra, the snake. What are you doing, honey? Honey. Honey's just under a hole suddenly, scraping something. So that's you've got Hydra. The 3 goddesses claimed the apple, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. It was built on a site which in Roman Lutitia, comes from wolf, Lu, that's why here where D'Artagnan, the 4th horseman, the 4th star, is, and it's called Lupiac, because the wolf took the place of the lion that lies down with the lamb. The lamb is Formerholt, the true third eye, and the wolf, that's why we've had this so-called the Mandela effect, and they now say the Bible says to lie down with the wolf, because it's our Romans coming in, the lost tribes, the 10 lost tribes. Now they know that we're all going to wake up. They can't hide anymore. They've spent these 12,000 years preparing. So it's believed to have been occupied by a pagan temple. This is thence by a Romanesque church, the Basilica of Saint Etienne, built between the 4th and the 7th century. Well, there you have the 4 parts of the brain and the 7 chakras to hit gold. You see, they're talking about Notre Dame. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is the Judgment of Paris by Reuben. Reuben is one of the lost tribes. The basilica was situated 40 meters westway. That's what I was saying before, Montmartre, when the warplane was going over. is the 40 days that Jesus spent in the desert. 40 meters. So this is the black hole. This is the 5th story of Sinbad the Sailor. It's when we discover the eye. So, you know, we're not quite at the 7 yet, but some of us will pop off for the 5. This is a 5th wave ethereal frequency that you can either have one foot inside or you can't. So this is the actress who played Esmeralda in Notre Dame, and she's called Helen, as in Helen of Troy. This is the island, the eye on the Hydra snake in the 4th of Notre Dame. And this is the crucifixion of the Lamb in the eye. I did my video explaining the Visca Pisces, that it was the 369 trap. They want to keep us stuck at this frequency. You know, we've got to get through the eye, not get stuck in it, but you've got to face the snake on the pole. You've got to look for the wisdom. Here we have, for Easter Day, bam, Mars on top of the bull. Perfect rituals, as the sun will be for the equinox on the Sheraton, which is the 33 degree of Ra, the ram. You know, in the film Babe, do you know the password? Arimabif, Bar Ram you. Bar, Ra, Ram, you. Goodness knows, you know, how they're going to play this out until people pop out and see that it's just, you know, it's just a projection. So Grenfell Towers, at the same time, we had a very important eclipse. You know, we're going through a process of eclipses. There will be a last one in 2024, but in 2017, we had, again, in the 5th house, the same as that chart I just showed you, 5th to 11th house, we had the eclipse, which made a big cross in Texas on the 33 latitude, longitude. There you go, 33, 33, 88. And when Grenfell Towers came down, I have to go back and look. I haven't actually really checked, but I know that something was going on. It was something. Well, I'll have to go and see, but it's sure there's something. But Grenfell Towers, you see, this is the true third eye. This is Fomalhaut. This is the pyramids of Giza, and this is Grenfell Tower on the Westway eye, because Westway is the bull. It's Taurus. East is Antares, Scorpio. West is the bull, Taurus. So on the Westway, on the Hydra snake, Grenfell Tower fire. And again, Notre Dame is burnt down on the eye, on the snake. This is the fake 13th sign. You know, the hero, it's a never-ending war. It's a never-ever land. We remain in flesh. And this coming equinox on the 23rd of September, the same time as this Easter, between the 21st and the 23rd, G7 in Biarritz, where we end the Holy Grail at the rocks. So after 40, after 33, after 32, 32 gels, Bordeaux 33, where we had the hurricane and they showed us a picture of a tit, the bullseye. And this is Lot's wife turned to stone. You've got to go through the Hydra eye. So we also had in Jerusalem another fire on their Passover day of sacrificial of the lamb. We've just seen, you know, it was for Passover. This is where we're at. Same time, they had one of their masks come down. The festival of Shavuot superimposes the giving of the Spirit in Jerusalem over the giving of the Torah at Sinai. Well, we had a West Way Torah event, and we had a East Way Shavuot Passover event. These are the four nipples. Like Notre Dame was in the 4th Arrondissement, the Four Musketeers. And Bordeaux, we had one of the 433 events. We had an earthquake, which is a tit, and it's also the head of a mosque. Olive trees, Popeye and olive, Popeye, bullseye. Okay, so there's these mixing in lots of stories, but they all mean the same thing, whether it be the judgment of Paris, whether it be the story of, which story is this? Yeah, the cult of Dionysus, the cult of souls. His maenads feed the dead through blood offerings, and he acts as a divine communicant between the living and the dead. He is sometimes categorized as a dying and rising god. Sounds like Jesus. Dionysus is generally depicted in myth as the son of Zeus and the mortal Semele, although in the Orphic tradition he was identified as the son of Zeus and Thesperon. You know, this is Mary Magdalene that goes into the underworld. This is what represents burning Notre Dame down is. This is getting rid of her to get her. To get her. Yeah. Now, yes, and mixing with the story of Aries. You see, Aries is part of all this. She is the Angelina Jolie in Sleeping Beauty, the Maleficent. This is the time before we have the kiss. She doesn't want us to wake up, to kiss ourselves awake. And she is the rebel and destruction. And here we go. Aries. You see that we had the sun was conjunct to Aries. The sun was conjunct to Aries for Notre Dame. Yes, so pretty amazing. What a sun god ritual. What a Solomon ritual. What a Solomon ritual. The sun on Aries and the moon on Babylon Regulus. Amazing. And Uranus bang next to the sun. So that's very much, you know, this is massive energy ritual. Wow. That is real to get her in Ra, that virile, raw, masculine ego, root, Bunsen burner, chakra. Yeah, that's where they want to keep you. Now this should be used, people, you should be, this is, you know, this is really the time, this 7 years of Uranus in Aries is really a once in a lifetime, because it takes Uranus 84 years to go around the wheel. Half the wheel division is 42. Jupiter's sign is 42. But this is a time, this 7 years, to really use, and people will obviously use it in the, can use it in the wrong way, but to activate your anger and channel it, your anger and your sexual desire, to channel it to pop your third eye. That's the only way you can do it. It has to start from the bottom. It can't cheat. You can't sit happily at the solar plexus, sun, moon. You have to get past the heart and the throat, Venus and Mercury. And these guys are just coming past Neptune and going into Pisces, so there's a lot of deception still. There's a lot of deception, but a lot of people will be living the kiss of Judas, definitely this 4 months. And we should all be getting ready now for this end of this 20 years of Sagittarius. Next year, Jupiter is in Sagittarius to finish off their last year. So, you know, that will be the grand year of clampdown before we get to the 2020 pop-off. And this journey will end 2024, 2030, or as I keep saying, is there going to be some kind of pop-off? We really can take back the reins of this tapestry. Yeah, so the cult of Dionysus, this, you know, it was built on a pagan site. The Notre Dame used to be to Jupiter. So that's this weekend, that's the true third eye, that's the west way, east way, and we've got the fires, we've got the tits, marking the 4 mosques, the tits. Now Aries is also Europa, and so the Sun Uranus conjunction with Aries, this is Europa. This is Helen of Troy. It's the same stories, just Greek and Roman. Okay, these are the division bells which are being rung now. The scales are being weighed. These are the judgment time. This is Venus rules Taurus, Isis, and Libra, Omega. This is the snake of wisdom. Here's Helen. And here we have the pillars. These 2 pillars each measure 69. So they each measure 69 feet. It's the mirror. 1969 to 2019 is 50 years. It's the crossover. You've got the 2 DNA strands, like in the Twin Towers. You have the triple goddesses representing Isis, the waxing and the waning, and we had that this Valentine. We had the passage of the moon right over the bullseye, making these 3 goddesses. This is the bullseye. This is the sun god. And Brexit has been pushed to the 31st of October, which will be exactly 9 months, the cycle of Venus in the sky, from the triple goddess ritual. Go back and see my videos and my blog for that, which is the baby, the egg that is being born of this new race that, you know, the underworld will now create. It's our choice now whether we remain for that or we change that. So that's why Brexit has been pushed to the 31st, and they're going to have their G set in 64, Biarritz on the equinox of the 23rd. These are all the rituals. This is the true Ark of the Covenant. This is when we merge. And this is what should be happening now. You know, Macron, what's going to happen to him? There's going to be some kind of crucifixion, some kind of fall. And this explains all the different events we've just had. There's the fire. The pictures today are just awful. There's a bridge over troubled water. This is the Ark of the Covenant. Simon and Garfunkel, Sodom and Gomorrah. 800 years old. You know, we've got the 88 constellations. 8 is 33. 101 Ascension, 110. Notre Dame. Odyssey 2001, the Bulls EYE Aldebaran. This is where Mars, there's Mars, look at this. I've got the 11th, let's go to this weekend. Okay, this weekend. So exactly on the 23rd, so it'll be 1 month to the day, 6 months, half of the wheel till G7 in 64. But there's the sun on the 33 Sheraton degree of the equinox there, 33. And there's Mars on Aldebaran. You see Mars is orange. It's what we're living right now. The Visca Pisces, the Last Supper, the Four Corners, 4th Arrondissement. And lo and behold, the black hole has just been found at the same time as Mars goes on to the bull. I mean, give me a break. So here we have the pirate galore, George R.R. Martin, and the snake and the eye. Song of Ice and Fire, white and red. We go from Pisces into Aquarius. Aquarius is air, but it's opposite Asia, fire. And ice, the water of Pisces, will be turned to ice. These are the Free Martin, the male twin through the umbilical cords, take the hormones of the male, and you have a female with XY chromosomes, but looks like a female but behaves like a man. And believe it or not, we really are nearly at the 70% on Earth of women like this, because there's only 15% Rh negative left. It really has happened. It's a mentality. It's a positive mentality. Playing along with the Peter Pan boys and calling that feminism. It's not. It's not. So they say to us it only happens in bulls, all reference again to the bull's eye, but, you know, that's where we are. And it all comes from Saint Martin of Tours, and this is the famous last horseman, the dragon slayer. Because the dragon is what's meant in the Bible when they say there will be no need for the moon and the sun. Because, you know, you merge the snake within you. You go through the mirror, or you get burnt by the dragon. You know, you've got to have the courage to look the snake in the eye. But we've got the Peter Pan Club playing out Greek tragedy over and over again for us, because they prefer to have us, you know, to have two sides of the mirror, but that can't exist anymore. The mirror's merging. And that's why Michael Jackson is portrayed as the last horseman, because the snake is in Gemini and Sagittarius. Mercury rules Gemini, And Virgo and Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. And we end the age of Pisces. So it's the MJ. And again, we end the age of white-black. So that was why there was always this white-black thing going on with Michael Jackson. And we've got him black on a white horse. And we have the, you know, the last horseman is either white or the black horse. That's why you have the Noel, like lone. Noel is lone. Same letters, just spell them around. It's all spells. Noel, Musk. Elon, scum. Well, you know what I mean. It's all the same people. Noel. Anyway, that's why they had the Lloyd's Bank Black Horse. So this is Saint Martin de Tours, who gave his cloak to clothe a beggar. So we're going to have their version of equivalent exchange. Communism. And it's going to be as in A Brave New World. You're going to enjoy it. Here we have, always with reference to the pirates, of course, because these are the real gypsy kings, the sultans of swing. R.R. Martin. Yep. The snake, the sun and the moon, and the egg. There's the egg. You really want to have your third eye taken over. Best pop it. Best get through the mirror. Game of Thrones. This is the story of Sinbad. Out of curiosity, the ship's passengers disembarked to view the egg. This is Sinbad fifth wave, because we're at the fifth wave. Only to end up breaking it and having the chick inside as a meal. There we go. Sinbad immediately recognized the folly of their behavior and orders all back aboard ship. However, the infuriated parent rocks soon catch up with the vessel and destroy it by dropping giant boulders they have carried in their talons. Shipwrecked yet again, Sinbad is enslaved by the old man of the sea, who rides on his shoulders with his legs twisted round Sinbad's neck and will not let go, riding him both day and night until Sinbad would welcome death. Burton's footnote discusses possible origins for the old man, the orangutan, the Greek god Triton, and favours the African custom of riding on slaves in this way. Eventually Sinbad makes wine and tricks the old man into drinking some. Sinbad kills him after he has fallen off, and then he escapes. The ship carries him to the city of the apes, a place whose inhabitants spend each night in boats offshore, while their town is abandoned to man-eating apes. Yet through the apes, Sinbad recoups his fortune and so eventually finds a ship which takes him home once more to Baghdad. Well, this is just the story of our third eye. And this is Clockwork Orange coming to a town near you. The apes. Yeah. You know, this is whether you choose to be half man, half animal, or half man, half God. We're touching, as in Michelangelo, we're touching, you know, E.T. We're merging now. So yeah, this was obviously given at the time 232 for 322 Skull and Bones, or 223 BBC. It's the bell, it's the eye. There's the egg, the eye. Trinity through. Howl. The division bell. Pink Floyd. Mary Magdalene, the Holy Grail. And here we have Jacinda. Although Helen is sometimes depicted as being raped by Paris, ancient Greek sources are often elliptical and contradictory. Herodotus states that Helen was abducted, but the cite simply mentions that after giving Helen gifts Aphrodite brings the Spartan queen together with the Prince of Troy. Sappho argues that Helen willingly left behind Menelaus and their 9-year-old daughter, Helen, to be with Paris. So here we've got the West and the East, Antares and Aldebaran, and they're both feminine, they're both female. And it's these two energies that feed, Libra's fed by Scorpio, Venus, and Isis is the Taurus bull, which is actually female. Bow. You know, this is the Ark of the Covenant coming in. It's the fake MM. They're taking over the magnetic pulse of the black hole. The new god is going to be HAL. It's going to be AI. They're using the suppressed female because people were ready to let go of that inner strength. You know, we had matriarchal age and now patriarchal age. And the idea now is to seethe through that. And the idea of having no more moon and sun is becoming your own temple, your own god, your own creator. People can't tell us that we're ill and we've got illnesses, and we have to look after ourselves. And that starts with nurturing her, Earth. For the moment, we at her is the weather crisis. It's all artificial. We're going to have the artificial womb now. It will be racist for women to have babies against transgenders. Again, Aries, Europa. This is Regulus. We've just had the moon for Notre Dame was on the lion. Babylon. Sword in the stone, word in the tone. Okay, and I just finish with these pictures of Notre Dame. And look what they're showing us. I mean, in France, cigarette packets now have the female sexual organs burnt with a hole in them. And it's the end of the 3 female holes, the 3 triple goddess. Look at our chakra system burnt. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't believe that. Look at that picture they're showing us. Oh, they're sick. All this on the island, on the eye, the 2 pillars, and their new fake trinity. Now, if that isn't satanic, the bullseye. Okay, I'm sending you all my love. I love you. Bye.